Assignment number 2, question number 1. Easy Advertising reported the following during the year. So, question is, how much is the amount of Easy Capital? So, in the given, we have the account titles with their corresponding amounts. So, hindi lahat ng given ay gagamitin, or hindi lahat na nasa given is kailangan gamitin. So, ang tanong lang naman, how much is the Easy Capital? Now, we'll have to use our basic accounting equation, which is the asset is equal to liability plus equity. Since ang question is how much is the equity, we'll have to transpose our formula to equity is equal to asset less liability. Now, based on the given, we have cash of 40,000, which is an asset. Unused supplies of 50,000 is also an asset. Advances from customers is a liability. So, ibig sabihin nito, nakatanggap si business ng advances galing kay customer. Ibig sabihin ng advances, hindi pa nakapag-render ng service si business. So, ibig sabihin, liability niya pa yon kay customer. Liabilities of 10. Next, accounts receivable, 20,000. Furniture and fixtures, 70,000. We have accounts payable of 20,000. And the allowance for bad debts. Allowance for bad debts is a contra asset account. So, dapat ibawas natin itong allowance for bad debts. Now, let's compute our total. For our asset, we have a total of 179,000 less liability of 30,000. Therefore, our equity is equal to 149,000 pesos. Problem number 2, we have 3 questions. So, the ending owner's capital of the business amounts to 100,000. The beginning assets and liabilities are 160 respectively. And the owner contributed additional investment of 10,000. Now, the question is, how much will be the net income, the ending total assets, and the total revenue of the business? Again, we will just use our basic accounting equation. But then, kailangan natin i-expand ang ating accounting equation. So, from asset is equal to liability plus equity, madadagdagan ng ang content ng ating equity. So, ang equity natin, magiging original capital. We have to add our additional investments, less our withdrawals, plus revenue, and less our expenses. So, again, from our basic accounting equation, we have here our expanded accounting equation. So, from the given, for the first question, how much would be the net income? So, let's start with the beginning assets and liabilities. Assets and liabilities of 100,000 and 60,000. So, now, let's determine first the beginning equity. So, from this given, we have our equity of 40,000. Next, we have contributed additional investment of 10,000. So, again, itong 40, ito na yung ating original capital. Next is we have additional investment of 10,000. So, that is being added from 40. And then, since we don't have any given for withdrawals, so, it's as if wala tayong withdrawals. Next, revenue. Revenue is isa din siya sa mga wala. So, jump to expense. Now, expense is 17,000. So, since expense siya, dapat siyang ibawas. And then, lastly, the ending owner's capital of the business is 100,000. Now, the first question is, how much is the net income? So, we all know that net income is the result of revenue less expense. So, bago natin makuha si net income, kailangan muna natin makuha si revenue. So, from our given, we have 40,000 plus 10,000 less 17,000 and then we less 100,000. So, ang answer natin for revenue, which is the question for number 4, is 67,000. So, para makuha natin yung net income, revenue less expense tayo. 67 less 17, we have 50,000. So, the answer for number 2 question of net income is 50,000. Number 3 question, how much is the ending total assets of the business? Again, using our accounting equation, basic accounting equation, we have assets is equal to liability plus equity. So, again, yung equity natin kanina, nakuha na natin or given na from the problem is 100,000. Since walang given or walang kahit anong binigay regarding liabilities, we have to assume that liabilities, beginning liabilities and ending liabilities are the same. So, liabilities is 60,000. Therefore, we have an ending total assets of 160,000 pesos. Fourth question is, how much is the total revenue of the business? Again, ito na siya kanina, 67,000. Problem number 3, the total assets of the business amount to 210,000. The claim of the owner is 1/3 of the total assets. The working capital during the year is 40,000. The liabilities falling due within 12 months is 70,000. First question is, how much is the amount of the owner's capital? Again, basic accounting equation, asset is equal to liability plus equity. Ang question is, how much daw is the owner's capital? We have our given total assets of 210. Tapos, sabi dito, 1/3 daw ang claim of the owner. So, kapag sinabing claim of the owner, capital yun. Kapag sinabing claim of the creditor, liabilities. So, ang given dito, claim of the owner. Kaya, sabi dito, 1/3 daw yung equity ni asset. So, ang 1/3 nito is ang equity. So, 1/3. So, para makuha natin yung 1/3 nito, so, 210 times 1/3. So, ang answer natin for equity is 70,000. Next question is, how much is the amount of total liabilities? So, from here, makukuha na natin yung ating liabilities. Liabilities is equal to 140,000. Kapag inad natin yan, again, 210 yung total assets. Next question is, how much is the amount of current assets? So, kung nagbasa kayo ng libro, makikilala nyo si working capital. No, si working capital, ang formula niya, working capital is equal to current assets less current liabilities. Working capital daw during the year is 40,000. So, ang question is, eto si current assets less liabilities falling due within 12 months is 70,000. So, kapag sinabing obligations to be settled within 1 year or less than 12 months or 12 months or less, they are considered or classified as current liabilities. So, current liabilities natin is 70,000. So, madali na lang i-compute. Therefore, ang ating current assets is 110,000. Pag binawasan mo ng 70, again, 40C, working capital. Again, ang answer natin is 110,000. Problem number 4. The following economic activities transpired during the period. So, ang given dito is yung movement ng ating cash. So, question number 8. the ending cash balance should be. So, magkano daw ang cash balance natin? So, first, cash investment. Ibig sabihin, may pumasok na pera sa business. That is 50,000. Cash purchase of office machine, 20,000. Bumili. Ibig sabihin, lumabas yung pera. Cash collection of 10,000. For services rendered, nakakollect. So, may pumasok ulit na pera. 10,000. Add natin. Cash payment for supplies used in rendering services. So, pag sinabing cash payment, nagbayad. Since used na yung supplies, ibig sabihin, magiging expense na yun. So, bawas natin yung 5. Cash receipt, nakatanggap ng pera from borrowings. Ibig sabihin, nakatanggap ng pera dahil nangutang. So, pumasok din yan. Plus natin yung 35. So, ang total ng cash natin is 70,000 pesos. Next question is, how much is the amount of our total assets? Again, take note na ang nakuha na natin kanina is ang amount ng cash of 70,000. And the second bullet, meron tayong binili na office machine. That's an asset. Office machine of 20,000. So, yun lang naman ang asset natin. So, ang total is 90,000. Therefore, our answer is 90,000. Next question, amount of total liabilities. So, kanina, naka-receive tayo ng pera dahil nangutang. So, ito yun, liabilities of 35,000. Next is amount of owner's equity. So, kapag ginamit natin yung ating basic accounting equation, assets is equal to liability plus equity. So, magkano ang i-add mo sa 35 para maging 90? So, that is 55,000. Or kung gusto nyo talagang kunin, gamit ang ating given, we have our investment of 50. We have our collection for revenue or services rendered of 10. Then, ibawas na natin yung expense natin na 5,000. So, for a total of 55,000 pesos.